Andrew Weisblum is a very well-known editor in the New York area for where he's resided for over 25 years. He's most notably worked on Black Swan, Fantastic Mr. Fox, and Tick, Tick, Boom. Born in November 1971, Andrew started out making his own short films as a kid, which started his interest in editing. To get his foot in the door of the industry, he sought out internships, director's assistant, and editor's assistant roles.
And then I made little films as a kid, and editing was always the most exciting part, but I wasn't really decided about what angle I was going to get into, whether I wanted to direct movies, whatever. So when I first got out of school and started to try and get a job, I interned in different places and was a PA, and one of my first jobs as a PA, I was on a set.
This introduced him to editor Bill Pankow, which set off his career in the New York City post-production world. Some of his most famous films are within his work alongside Wes Anderson and Darren Aronofsky, his most recent work being The Whale and the selection of short films based on Roald Dahl stories Poison, The Rat Catcher, The Swan, and The Wonderful Story of Henry Sugar.
He picked up a wedge of 25-pound chips and placed them in a pile on the table. He didn't need to count them. Those nimble fingers were never wrong.
There are certain shots that involve a lot of fancy footwork that, hopefully it's not too evident at the end of the day, but a lot of split screen and time manipulation and all that sort of thing.
Weisblum's work has a clear impact through colouring. His work alongside his trusted directors show the importance of colour grading and how it can help narrative to be clearer. For example, in his film The French Dispatch, he applies an alternating use of colour and black and white in the scenes. He mentions in an interview with Philston News that The French Dispatch was quite experimental in the editing process.
In terms of scenes and stuff, there wasn't anything that really presented challenges in that regard, but there is a lot of frame-to-frame manipulation, and something as simple as the shot of the waiter preparing the drinks in the beginning probably has several dozen cuts and morphs in it and little dissolves and tricks to get it to play as quickly as it could possibly play, which was really the gag.
Some of his most identifiable features are jump cuts and montages. Whilst montages are difficult to be executed well, Weisblum's skills show the creativity that can be applied to add new layers to a film. In Black Swan, his editing helps the viewer to see the disillusionment of the protagonist Nina Sayers as her perfectionism takes a dark turn.
Okay, well, I think it's time for another round. Thumbs up.
Well, please. So what are you guys working on now?
We hear the emphasised sound editing and the blurred line of impressionism to realism. One of the most creative scenes is when Nina and Lily go clubbing. The environment is manipulated to highlight the impressionism visuals of Nina's imagination versus reality, a complex yet powerful scene. Once more, as you can see in this scene, colour grading is very integral as the green and red flashes help to show some of the imagery that you wouldn't necessarily pick up in your first watch. Weisblum's effect on the industry shows his drive and passion for the work he creates. His interview with Philston News, as previously referenced, he discusses how he wants a director to be in control of the executive creative decisions, and when working so closely with Anderson and Aronofsky, he is able to thrive with those conditions. For this reason, I consider him an incredible and inspiring editor.
Oh no, what has he done? You fucking asshole.
Although his name may not be known by most, his hard work has been acknowledged in the industry as he's been nominated for Satellite, BAFTA, Academy, Critics' Choice, and Eddie Awards. Whilst he is still active in the editing industry, his work is unique when paired with the two very eccentric directors of which he works alongside. When applying all of this, it is no doubt that he will become a name worth noting in the future of film.